Hello and welcome to another episode of Change Champions. I'm Riley. This is Ped. If you're new to the show, welcome. We have combined between us over 30 years of coaching, consulting, facilitating experience as solopreneurs. And we also have spent over $100,000 so far, own money on training, development, etc. All the mistakes and um, yeah, hopefully lessons that we can pass on to you. So in this episode, what we're going to be talking about is really we're going to give you a little behind the scenes look. That's the
Mhm.
format of the show, at least this episode, at what we have just done or just about to start doing, and hopefully, actually, as we talk through these things, because there's a giveaway event we just did, a partnership that we're just launching, and a little bit of team expansion. So if any of those topics are interesting to you, that's what we're going to be talking through, and just kind of the ups and downs and what we've been going through. So
Yeah,
should we
and
dive
all
in?
in a
Jump
bid
in?
to make sure that, as we're learning these lessons, you can learn them as well, and maybe, uh, make some of the mistakes and recover from them quicker, or not make those mistakes
Oh,
at all.
uh,
Yeah.
so should we start with the giveaway? That's kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
So, which actually, when I say giveaway, so we little context, we offered a fully funded scholarship. This is the first time I've never done anything like this before, since before we even joined forces here, Ped.
No.
So yeah, you neither. Um, so it was kind of there's two layers of this. So one is there's an event attached that we had to do a lot of prep and planning for, so we can talk through that a little bit.
Mhm.
But also there's that fully funded spot, which honestly, I feel like if I talk about it too much, I might like tear up because I think it's it just I wanted to write a post about this, so maybe that post will be out by the time you're
Mhm.
watching or listening to this. But I just it felt like so full circle for me to be able to offer that.
In
To
what way?
just to like I don't really want to call it a privilege. I guess it is, but like we both have been busting our asses in terms of I mean just career in general and like our
Mhm.
stories and like everything that we've gone through personally, but then in this business and to be able to support our clients and there's a lot of work that goes into it and just because you enjoy what you do doesn't mean that it's always easy.
Mhm.
But actually I think that most enjoyable things aren't that easy, but that gets into positive psychology and that's a whole tangent. But full circle for me in the sense that so it's gratifying from that angle, but also I was once a just so poor, so broke, uh, college kid, working his way through school, trying to avoid debt. Came from a broken home family, and like to be able to offer that kind of opportunity to someone, to get the support that I needed and avoided for years. Years. I just like tried to do it on my own and try to take a more conventional path
Mhm.
with like multiple degrees, etc. And man, it I wonder how much further ahead, not to compare, but just
Yeah. No.
like how much farther down the path I could have gone or higher up the mountain I could have climbed if I'd been given this kind of support. I mean, that's why we call our program a leverage accelerator, right? It's an
It's an
accelerator program.
accelerant.
So it's cool to be able to kind of pay it forward, I guess, in a way.
Yeah. No, I love that. And for me, I know that we both talked about wanting to give this uh, offer this scholarship, this giveaway, for our own personal reasons. And one thing which I'm proud of in terms of what we did was also have that event where we announced not only announced the winner, but also
Mhm.
shared our methodology for anybody else that did apply
Yep, yep.
that didn't win, because we wanted to make sure that they had some value from us as well, which kind of has there's multiple layers to that. Obviously, there's like the person who won, great, and then there's the people that I know. Gosh, I mean, it was a tough call trying to pick
We
one of
weren't
them, right?
expecting it to be that hard. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It was just like, oh shit, how do we make a decision? But yeah, being able to offer something of value and to them, which really for me just resonant. It's in keeping with the value set of being in service. And the positive replies that we got from people afterwards, or positive responses and messages that people sent to us afterwards saying, "Thank you so much for that. I learned so much. Oh my gosh, uh, that mistake that you highlighted, I do that all the time, and now I know how to avoid it." I personally really enjoyed that bit of it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the event. And so, and a little bit of behind the scenes here too, like, which it's not like you can just pull something like that out of your ass. Like, you have to uh prep and plan, and there's all the content that goes into it, but there's also all the, just like anything else in business, like there's all the promotion that goes into it as well. Like the scheduling, the planning, but just alerting people and making people aware that this is what's happening, this is the value proposition, this is what you're going to get out of it, this is why you should come, like all of those things. And honestly, our attendance rate was like, I was pretty damn impressed,
I
if
was
I do
really
say
pretty
so
impressed too.
myself.
Yeah, no, we did a really good job with that, I'd say. Just based on the fact that we did cap the number of people that could apply to
Yeah.
50, and we probably got maybe about 25, 30 people at the
It came to
call.
the,
Was that
yeah, it
that
was
came
it
to the
was
call?
about 25, and we had 40 total applicants that were invited to. And right off the bat, there's, 2, 3 people that emailed us like, "Oh, we can't make the time. Is there a replay?" Sorry, there's
Yeah.
no replay for people. We
I know. Do
wanted
you
to
know
do a
what,
live
Riley? I
training. Yeah.
was, yeah, and also, I was going to record it, but I forgot to press record. So it just exists in our memories now. That's
Well, we have
we got yeah, we got our note takers there, but it's not the
yeah.
same as actually
No, it's not
doing a
quite the,
proper.
yeah, the
So
quality is
if
not
you
the
did,
same.
so if if you did want to come to it and we said we weren't going to record it, yeah, we didn't in a way that we can share in a nice
Well,
way. But
yeah, and we did share our I mean, God, so many nuggets of like the amount of information that was crammed into to like under
I
30
know,
minutes
right?
was,
Well, I mean, I was rehearsing that two, three times a day for the week before it, just to make sure that I can just cram in all those nuggets in 25, 20
quick.
minutes,
Yep.
25 minutes. I
Yep.
managed to do it. But one of the things I would say on top of all this, actually, Riley, about just picking up on something you said, the amount of time and effort and energy it takes to put together something like this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give like a meta learning to this around anything that you think you want to do. It's not something that you could just, like you said, pull out of your ass. To do it properly, you've got to carve out the time to do it well. And I know that there's areas where we can have done things a little bit better. Like last two 2 weeks ago, we talked about the typo that went into the the
The
the
invite.
email
People
that
still showed
told
up. How
everyone
about
about
that?
it.
Just like we thought.
Yeah, how about that? But yeah, I we've mentioned this before as well. I and you, we track our time. Like we track where our time goes. And I had a look at how much time I put
Yeah.
into my side of things for the scholarship, the giveaway, the preparing the materials, the copy, the reviewing, so all the things that we've talked about. And it's just a little bit over five, nearly 6 working days. I'd say 5.5, 6 working days,
But yeah, 40
which
plus hours of, yeah.
doesn't, on the one hand, it doesn't seem like a huge amount, but also that was spread across a month and a bit, 2 months, when we've got other things that we've got to do, like business as usual,
It's a
serving
thing.
clients,
Yeah.
doing our usual stuff. And so, yeah, if you're listening to this and thinking, oh, I need to go and do X, Y, or Z or this project, yeah, absolutely go for it. But make sure you don't do all the other some of the other ideas that might be coming into your mind, because I know that as a shiny object syndrome person, I would be very tempted to pick up something else, right? But to do it properly, things take time.
Time, focus. That's really the whole, yeah, I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, I don't think, but because this gets into like the performance psychology stuff and for me like philosophy, but like that's the reason focus matters, is because nobody lives forever. If you if you live forever and you had all the time in the world, then like it wouldn't matter because you could just it'll get done eventually. But the reality is you don't have that. Just like logistically, there's a wall. But then also on the I guess like the like emotional, mental side of things,
Mhm.
like how long are you gonna actually care about it as well? Like that's the other thing is, motivations can dip and dive and um so yeah, you really want to ride the momentum and get some sort of results or progress. And if you're it's kind of like joining the gym in January, and
Mhm.
if you maybe you're really motivated at the beginning of the year, and if you aren't really that serious or focused, then the results you're not gonna really see any results. It's hard to see results in a month or two anyway,
Yeah.
but it might delay that for 3 to
Yeah.
6 months, and then are you even still going to the gym at that point? Probably not. You
Probably
didn't
not.
get into results, but it's because it takes more than you realize. Which speaking of,
Yeah, I
just
was gonna say, I think that's a nice segue into the time and effort that you especially, Riley, have been putting into nurturing and cultivating partnerships. And
yeah,
we got assigned our first committed, fully signed up partner.
yeah.
Do you want to
So as the time
tell the
of
listeners about it?
at the time of recording, we're officially launching next week, but we just had our kind of like a kickoff call, I guess, with the community founder. Um, and yeah, in terms of the event, uh like credit to you for taking the lead on that. And I guess while you were more focused over there, this is the benefit of having a business partner. I was
Yeah,
more
right.
focused over here on having these, man, I don't know, 12 plus different people that I've spoken to or had conversations with about like
Mhm.
what is a partnership? Like, what does that actually mean? What does it look like? How does that work for you personally or your organization or your community? And so, all those things said and done, I guess we can name names.
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
think
say, should
that's
we
yeah.
can
So, oh, man, but I don't know if I should say this because I have a terrible French accent. But Lucy Coudray is how I would
name.
say it. Apologies,
Lucy, you're
Lucy,
gonna
if you
come and
listen. Yeah, I don't.
tell Riley off about how he's
I know.
pronounced your
Yeah,
name.
the R it's the R. Um. Anyway, Lucy Coudret, if you were to Americanize it, is the founder of Coaching Innovators, which I believe she started in March of 2025. And Ped, you knew her from was
A
it
community of learning and
learning and
development, so
design,
over in the
learning and develop,
UK.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is it if you're new to this channel and you don't know what we talk about, this all kind of bleeds together here because our um, kind of entry points community that we offer to people is called Network and Sell. And the networking piece is a really core component of what we preach, what we talk about, and like how to do it well and how to do it in terms of business development and in a way that leads to sales, but is non-salesy. And so there's different channels to explore. And anyway, without going too far down that rabbit hole, um, partnerships is something we wanted to explore kind of for the first time, really. I mean, I'd
Mhm.
set one up when I was a chief operating officer, but it was a totally different context. Um, but it really is a partnership where we're looking for long-term fits. And that doesn't mean that you just jump into, a multiple year long
Mhm.
commitment. You can still kind of have a pilot or a test, which is what we're doing in this
Yeah.
instance as well. But we wanted to have someone who was aligned from a mission, vision, values perspective, and then also obviously the community is for coaches who are, uh, I mean, there's a lot of things want to develop themselves, are interested in coaching as a topic, and they're passionate about it, a career. Lucy could talk way more about that. So if you're interested, check out
Yeah.
Lucy, find her on LinkedIn, Coaching Innovators. And so, yeah, we're going to be the official partner for
Woo.
that community. Obviously, we help coaches, consultants, facilitators from a more business development perspective, which is not really something on offer currently to that community. Whereas the kind of people that we tend to work well with have we can't really help you if you don't have some sort of skill
Skill,
set, experience, some credit. Yeah,
credibility.
you have to have something. So, um, yeah, so this is a really good fit for us because it means we're talking to people who are either already have those skills or are in uh, progress or like in the
Yeah,
process of building those skills.
yeah, yeah. What for me, what excites me about this partnership, and actually just the concept of, or the principle of finding partners to partner with, just to use the same word multiple times in the same sentence. But yeah, having partners that have complementary offerings is something that gets me excited because it's one of those things where we can lift each other up at the same time, right? So if there's a missing piece of the puzzle for our community, we can point them towards our partners and vice versa. And this idea of a win-win is really, I think, really at the heart of so much of how we see business. It's not a zero-sum game, right? It's about
Devotion.
what's
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. What can we do that mutually benefits everyone, and including the transaction between client and us as well. Like there's a value exchange that takes place, but at the heart of it is all people based. How can we help each other? How can we help you? And these partnership conversations that you've been nurturing, well, these partners that you've been nurturing, and they have been really varied. Like Lucy is one example of somebody that runs a community, but I know we're speaking to other people who run training organizations, people that have complementary services that work with people who are similar to the people that we work with, right? So this is just a milestone that is great that we literally just got off that kickoff call
Yeah,
half an hour ago.
that was yeah, like an hour ago, not even, or hour and a half, something like that. So, um, yeah, it is exciting, and something that I've found, if people are hearing this and they're like, oh, this is interesting, maybe it's something I can look at as well. Um, what I have really what's interesting to me is because we talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, right? Like people who are either have already started or are interested in starting, solopreneur type people. And there's the mindset shift is really interesting to me because I think there's a lot of people, especially those that are newer to entrepreneurship, who maybe come from sort of a zero sum, a scarcity mindset kind of space or mentality. And especially, if you watch the movies, you see business can seem very competitive. It's like, I'm going to steal this client from that company, or, you watch Mad Men, it's like a very cutthroat. I don't know if that reference is going to resonate, um, but what's interesting is as I've been having these conversations at what I guess I'll call sort of a higher level, in the sense that you're not just focused on me, myself, and I, and my own business, which I think you kind of have to do when you're starting out. It makes sense. You need to, start somewhere. But a lot of these people are tapped into that abundance
Mhm,
mindset,
mhm.
and they see the business and the world the same way, where it's that rising tide lifts all
Yep.
boats kind of, as you were explaining, mentality. And it's just really cool because it means that as we build out this ecosystem, not only do I think we put ourselves in a position to reach more people, help more people, but the partners and the people who are part of our ecosystem, they also expand and benefit because they grow as
Yeah.
well, which it just becomes
Yeah.
this huge win-win,
Yeah.
virtuous cycle.
Full circle.
It's it,
Yeah.
yeah, circle cycle. So yeah, it's a really cool. Anyway, it's also something, as we're building this out for ourselves. We're documenting this obviously right now,
The cool thing about it, yeah. I know
but
what you're
we're
about to say.
also like, yeah, the SOPs and figuring out like what works, what doesn't. How do you approach this conversation? How do you find this kind of people? It's a similar process to what we teach when you're looking for clients.
Mhm.
and we're noting the differences, and it's something that we'd like to eventually add into our curriculum for Leverage Accelerator to teach others how to do this as well. Because, which actually, one of our potential partners has told me that is, she has not seen anyone doing that.
Hmm.
So that is like something that would be really valuable, is giving someone a roadmap to how you,
My partner.
yeah, how you find,
Yeah.
and partner as in, like we are also business partners, but that's
Yeah,
different
yeah,
than
yeah, yeah.
finding an external partner. Hopefully that makes sense for people, but we're probably beating a dead horse at this point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So maybe, moving on to the last topic was team.
Yeah, last topic's team. Before, I'm just going to make a quick point about that. The last thing you said, because there's something that I I I think is cool about the way we're documenting things, if I might say so ourselves, Riley, just to toot our own horn, is i- one is it's so that we don't have to do the thinking game, which is always good. But
Sure.
two, this both the two topics that we've talked about, partners and also the giveaway, these are things that as we see them working for us, we want to share it with our clients because what's the point in holding it all for ourselves? Like if something's working, give it to people. And
Yeah.
so I just think there's a kind of a meta and a purpose to this as well, not just for and I don't know what that meta thing is, but broadly, documenting and sharing is cool, which leads us onto our third topic, which is what allows us to expand the team, right?
Yeah, it builds. It makes me think of that quote. What's that quote that it's something about like, if I've seen further, it's because I've been standing on the shoulders or of
Yeah,
giants
yeah,
or
yeah. It's apparently do you know where this the quote comes from?
who said that? No, I can't remember who said it.
Apparently it's Newton, Isaac
Maybe.
Newton
Okay.
said this. The reason I can stand further is because I've stood on the shoulders of giants. Did he say giants? Either way,
And
he was
yeah, so
taking the
people.
piss out of other mathematicians who were short. Isaac Newton was a bit of a dick. Side point, as a figure. Um,
Well, I think
anyway,
the useful part of that is the fact that you don't go it alone. You know, it's the
yeah,
fact that
and then
you,
it can be reattributed to mean something good
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But
I
originally, yeah, Isaac Newton was a bit of a
Wow,
dick.
way to
So
just pull
we
the
didn't
rug
know
out from
we were
under
going
my.
to talk about this. Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's cool because, and so expanding the team as we build and we pass it on to it's all part of the win-win conversation. And I think if you, there's another, I can't remember the guy. It was a well-known investor, and everyone always wanted to do a deal with him. And he was asked, what is the secret? Like, what's the trick, or the advice you can give on? And he said, I always um ask for the minority share, or like he would, even though he's maybe 80% of the reason a deal would go through, like he's always going to give them 60 and take 40, or give them 80 and take 20. And that's the reason everyone wanted to work with him, because he would always give more value than he received,
he
which
got.
in turn made him more valuable, which, right? So same thing for us. By having this kind of approach and mindset, it slowly builds our offering and value that we can share, which then further enables us to. And so this is the team point. We've named a community manager inside of Leverage Accelerator, who was actually a former alum, grad. We don't really have a name for
Yeah,
it. Alum, yeah, Leverage
yeah.
Accelerator member, um, clients. Uh, and then the other is we were getting some help by another alum.
Alum.
And he's acting as kind of a clarity consultant for us. So we were saying, because
Mhm.
we have conversations with people to give them our strategy and roadmap, kind of like what we went over in the events, which was
But
one to
more
many, so it's not
personalized.
personalized. Yeah, so one
Yeah,
to one can be more personalized. And our we had an uptick in volume, and so we needed
yeah,
some help, and it was nice that he was able to help us. Um,
yeah.
Sorry, yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
all I was gonna say, I hadn't fully clocked the way you were going to say that they were both alums. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And also, other coaches on our faculty are alums, which
Yeah, another one is as
yeah,
well.
it's sort of now going to just seem absolutely fucking obvious, Riley, but it makes sense that we have alums of our program who have got their own skill sets that, and it's like they all have their own businesses, they all like do their own thing,
Yeah,
but having
true.
them as part of our community means that they have walk the walk, talk the talk, and when it comes to whatever role they have within our ecosystem, they are able to speak with authenticity. So when
Yeah,
yeah,
from
when our
experience.
clarity consultant jumps on, and we can when Glenn jumps on a call with someone and he talks through the roadmap, he's been there and done that, and he can give that advice and
Yeah,
clarity from from not a conceptual place, but from a I've been there and done that place. And I
yeah.
think that's,
He's actually one of
you know,
the case studies on our results page. So he
yeah,
can literally point to what he literally did himself,
yeah,
which is cool. Yeah,
exactly. See this guy here? That's me. Yeah.
yeah. It's like you might recognize someone here. Um, kind of the joke to say, but yeah, and I don't want to like make it sound bigger than it is, because I think there's a lot of it's interesting. I think a lot of companies, or I shouldn't say, a lot of people, entrepreneurs, founders, they want to sound bigger than they are when they start out because it's I guess sort of a credibility thing. Like you're like, oh,
Mm.
we, us, my team, and I, which is really like you and your dogs,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
right. It's I think it's something that a lot of people naturally do, and you want to sound like you're further ahead than you are. Um, but at the same time, I think no matter what position you're in, you can turn it into an advantage and see it as an
Mhm.
opportunity. It's something that I've learned. I wish I knew again, starting out.
Yeah,
A big reason why we do the work that we do is to help people through
yeah.
those stages. Um, and so where we're at is, I think we're able to uh, operate from a place of alignment in terms of like part of our partnership, like you and I, that we talked about was like before when we were first, merging together
Scripting, yeah, yeah.
was, we talked a lot about our values and our vision and all that stuff. And we didn't want to uh, necessarily build a multi seven figure company with all these moving pieces and
Yeah.
employees and things to manage. And so I think the way that we're going about it, which obviously like we'd still like to grow, or um,
Mhm.
we're still reaching towards our goals, but I think it's nice to reflect for a moment and see that we're walking that talk in the
Mhm.
sense that we're bringing in people very selectively to add more value to our program and to our clients and members and community members. But we're also like, they all have, as you said, their own thing. And so they
Yeah,
have their own autonomy and their own, they come on as
yeah.
contractors, and it means that yeah, it's more agile, I guess is maybe the
Yeah.
word. There's less
Yeah, and no, and I think
headaches.
that's a really good point because there's the and I hope we don't come across like this, but there are the people who show up online and definitely put on that very polished side of things. And the whole point around us even just having this podcast behind the scenes is to share what we're what we're up to, the firsts and why we're doing it, uh, and mistakes that we've make along the way. But we're still pretty hands on within our business. Like, yes,
Oh
we've
yeah,
got people working with us, and if you book a clarity call, you might get me or Riley on the
yeah,
call.
good
It's not that
chance.
we've completely outsourced everything to people because that's not quite where we are yet in our business, and maybe it might not be where we want to go because we enjoy doing the work that we do, and we don't want to completely, yeah, just be managing people from up in our ivory tower or whatever that might
Yeah,
look like for.
we're not trying to gouge and farm
Yeah.
um to like exploit the soil. I don't know where I'm going with the
Yeah.
farming analogy, but rip the nutrients from the soil. Yeah, it's really about regenerative farming and
There you go.
giving back. Yeah, and doing something that's sustainable, which again is something that so many of our clients care so much about, which I think is it just this maybe is a good point to end on is
Yeah.
I think the same we it's kind of like we're all in the same boat, and that's why I think the rising tide lifts all boats is really cool because it's like rather than sinking ships or playing battleship or uh just I don't know doing what's that called, the career ladder, the like internal politics that you have to play maybe in the corporate machine, stepping on each other's heads and hands.
Yeah.
I just think the space that we're in and the space that most of our clients want to be in, um, they just want to be able to do work they enjoy in a way that seems
Have a sustainable
sustainable
business.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And so,
Yeah.
hey, listen, if you're watching this or listening to this and that's you, um, and you do want to scale to seven figures and beyond, then you kind of have, no matter what, you have to do this initial foundational work, and that's what we're all about. Is I always say I want to give people the option and the choice. But the reality is, most people we talk to, when they create that choice, I think Rob is actually a great example. He's on our client results page. He emailed. I don't know if I told you this, Pat. He emailed me the other week and said he had an 8K month
That's amazing.
in his business. He's still working full time.
That's amazing.
He started working with. He joined our program because he wanted to like be able to shift out into his full time work or into his business full time. But it's so sustainable that he can just pick and choose the clients he wants. That like
That's
as far as
amazing.
I know, he's just building a nest egg. Like it's just like crazy extra cash flow. He even got a promotion at his job. He'd said so. Um, and that works for him. And that to me, there's no judgment, right or wrong. It's just I like the freedom and flexibility and autonomy that comes with. I was on a podcast recently, and the phrase that came up was it gets in your blood, and I can't really imagine going back to not being an entrepreneur. And if you're watching or listening to this and that resonates with you, then I think you're our
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that. Um, well, if you're our people, then we will hopefully see you next time we have one of these episodes. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, go ahead and do that, leverageaccelerator.co. If you're curious about the roadmap that we were talking about earlier that we shared in our giveaway event, go and check it out at networkandsell.com. You can join our community for free, $0 for 7 days. You can go
Yep.
in there, roam it around, see if you like it. And other than that, we will see you soon.
See ya.
Doodles.